What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a makeup tutorial on this look that you see right here. I'm actually really excited about this video because it's been a huge request for some time now for me to do a video dedicated to really fair skin. If you guys watch my channel, you know that my skin tone fluctuates all the time because I get spray tan sometimes. So I'll go from being like medium tan to like a really dark glowy tan to like really white like I am right now. I feel like the camera doesn't always show how tan I am or how light I truly am. Like the colors kind of like it's deceiving on camera, but I can get so fair that honestly like MAC foundations don't even match me. Like they don't even have a color light enough for my bitch ass. And I have to totally change and adjust my makeup routine to when I do have a tan and when I am very light. The things that look good on me when I have a good tan are not flattering or complimentary whatsoever when I am my fairest. Because of that, I am aware that a lot of people have the same struggle as me. When you're really light, you want to be able to like do a dark smoky eye and feel sexy and a nude lip, but at the same time you're like, oh, it just doesn't look the same as it does on like someone like Kim Kardashian. So I wanted to create an extremely easy and extremely flattering makeup tutorial for those of you who are really light in skin tone, where you can feel really sexy and really confident and still have like that smoky sex appeal. This is honestly so simple. I think I only used 3 eyeshadows today. When you see how easy it is, you're gonna be like, oh girl, I got this. Of course, this tutorial is gonna look good on a very wide variety of skin tones, but I just wanted to dedicate this specific video to all of my very fair girls and boys out there who are watching this. So I hope that you enjoy, and if you like it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, you know how much I appreciate it. So yeah, if you wanna see how to get this look, then just keep watching. Okay, so first thing that we're gonna do as always is prime our face. I'm using the same Sisley primer that I have been using forever because I just love it so much. I really wanted to try that like newer Tatcha primer that everyone's been raving about, but every single time I try to buy it, it's always sold out. This is the one that I've been sticking to, basically. I'm actually gonna double prime my skin today. I'm also gonna go in with a pore minimizer as well. For the past like month, I have been struggling with pores for the first time in my life. Like that's never been an issue of mine. All of a sudden, I have like all these clogged, like enlarged pores. There's like gaping holes on my face, and I'm like, great. You know, my skin has just been freaking out recently. I think it's obviously due to stress. There's been a lot going on in my life. I just have so much redness and just breakouts and like just texture. Like it's just not a good time for my skin. So we're gonna cover that up. I'm going to go in with the exact same foundation routine that I have been doing for quite a while now, and I'm going to like double or triple up the coverage.
Where mama needs it today.
Then taking a damp beauty sponge and spraying, this is a new bottle, spraying some of the Lila B Aglow face mist on it. I'm gonna go in with the Dior Forever foundation and just buff that out. Goodbye, redness. Now I'm gonna grab my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and conceal everything. I'm gonna do my under eye area. I'm gonna go over these little blemishes with it. I'm gonna do my T-zone. I'm basically just gonna do an entire second layer of concealer over top of my foundation. And I am using the shade Light. Okay, so now I'm gonna powder the face. I'm gonna go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder right here. This is my favorite face powder at the moment. It has been for quite some time actually. And I'm actually gonna mix that with a little bit of the Lancome Absolute powder as well. And then I'm gonna set my under eye using a light powder. I'm gonna go in with the Kat Von D palette with that first light shade. Okay, I'm gonna fill in my brows really quickly. Even though this is easier said than done, I do recommend when you are really pale or just more on the fair side to go a little bit lighter handed when you are filling in your eyebrows. Just because I noticed that when I have a spray tan, I can go heavier handed and I can make my eyebrows darker and bolder and it looks good. But when I'm really fair, it just looks very harsh on my pale skin. Ah, totally natural, right? Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do on the eye is just lay down a nice soft transition color. I'm gonna go in with my palette, my original palette that I created with Morphe, and I'm going to go in with the shade, let me think. I'm gonna go in with the shade Silk Cream, which is the third color in the palette. It's just a really nice soft transition color. It's a little bit on the warm side, but it's not too warm where it's gonna be unflattering on some skin tones. And again, we're just gonna apply this nice and soft. We don't want this to be harsh. I'm basically putting this all over the lid. I'm not intentionally putting it all over the center of my lid, but since I'm using such a big brush and as I'm blending it out, I'm continuously going up towards the brow and in the inner corner. I am getting that color like a nice light wash basically all over my entire lid area. So now I'm gonna grab a really small, tight definer brush like this guy right here, and I'm going to go in with my Armed and Gorgeous palette, which is part of my Vault collection with Morphe that I'm so in love with. I'm gonna grab the shade Prowl, which is a really nice dark matte brown. It's very deep and it's definitely like a neutral brown. It's not super cool or super warm, which is why it's gonna be so flattering to so many different skin tones. What I'm gonna do now with this brush is I'm going to just stamp that color right on my lash line like eyeshadow. Sorry, I meant eyeliner. And we are just following the lash line and just stamping it with that brush. Just like that. So it looks like eyeliner, but it's just done with eyeshadow. I've just been so into this recently because it's so easy just to stamp this brush right along the lash line and boom, your liner is done. Okay, so now that we have that laid down right on the lash line, I'm gonna take a little bit more of that shadow and I'm going to begin to just slightly bring it up out here on the outer corner. Just kind of like doing this flickering motion that you see me doing right now. And this is just going to begin to slightly blend it out and smoke it out. And then lightly feathering that into the inner corner, but we want it to be the darkest and go the highest up on the outer corner, like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna switch brushes, but I'm gonna stay with that exact same brown that I've been using the entire time. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of a fluffier brush now. This is the Morphe M433, of course. This is one of my favorite blending brushes ever. And I'm going to just tap that upward now that we have that kind of like fade on the outer corner, and I'm gonna bring that into the crease. We're keeping it low in the crease. We're not taking it too high. And I'm just taking a totally clean blending brush. I'm just gonna go over the edge of that just to make sure that we don't have any harsh lines. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with my original palette and I'm going to grab the shade Central Park right here, which is a really, really dark, very neutral brown. And I'm just going to pat right over top of that initial shadow that we put on by the lash line just to deepen it up one last time before we go in with lashes. Now I'm gonna go in with the shade Pooter right here in my palette. I'm gonna take a pencil brush and line my entire lower lash line with that shade. I love this color on fair skin because of the fact that it has a little warmth in it, but it's not too warm. Like it's just the perfect amount of neutral, you know? And I'm gonna bring that nice and low on my lower lash line to really smoke that out. Looks a little freaky at first, kind of like Uncle Fester, but it all comes together. So now I'm gonna go in with a MAC eye pencil in the shade Teddy, which is a really beautiful brown. It's got like a little bit of shimmer in it, and I've been lining my inner waterline with this recently, and I absolutely love the way it makes this look. Because when you are really fair and you line your inner waterline with black, sometimes it can be really, really harsh and just make your eyes look like really kind of small and squinty, and it'll make you look even more pale and sometimes in kind of like a dead looking way. And we don't want to look like a corpse, you know? It's okay to be really fair. It's okay to be as pale as, you know, as paper, as this right here, but you also don't want to do anything that looks unflattering. You want to make sure that you look alive and you look vibrant, and you look healthy, you look glowing, and that's all very achievable no matter how pale you are. So I really love to use a brown eyeliner as opposed to a black one when doing my eye makeup when I am this fair. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back in with the shade Prowl right here from the Armed and Gorgeous palette, and I'm gonna go in with that same definer brush that I was using on my upper lash line, and I am just going to go right over that really tight on my lower lash line and blend it down. Okay, I'm just gonna apply a little mascara to my upper lashes so that I can go in and pop on some false ones. Okay, so now I'm just gonna put a little mascara on my lower lashes as well. What a difference lashes make. Like, it's like night and day. Of course, for this look, you do not have to do false lashes. You can, of course, just do mascara, but I just love the look of false lashes with this, especially because the actual eyeshadow is so easy and actually very simple. You put on lashes, and it just kind of fools everybody into thinking that, like, wow, what a beautiful smoky eye. And you're like, bitch, I only use 3 shadows. Okay, so now at this point, we look a little weird, right? Like, I kind of look dead. Like, it's just like dark eyes, like dark eyebrows, and just like pale, flat, matte skin. So we are about to change that. First thing I'm gonna do is highlight the inner corner of my eye. I'm gonna go in with my palette and grab the first shade in the palette, which is in Light. I'm going to just dab that right in the inner corner, just kind of blend it out, down, inward, upward, all around, just to get like a nice halo on that inner corner. Then once I have that, I'm gonna go in with the shade VIP, which is the first shade in the Armed and Gorgeous palette. And I'm just going to lightly tap that right over top of what I did, specifically only just in the inner corner, like a dot, because this is white and it's pigmented. But it's just gonna give like a little bit of an extra pow. I'm actually gonna highlight my brow bone today too. I feel like this look needs it. So I'm gonna go back in with In Light from my palette right here, take a little bit of that on a brush, and just hit that right underneath of the brow. Oh yeah, Gosh, highlight just makes everything so much better. That statement really is true. Having a bad day, you highlight, it gets better. Going through a breakup, highlight, it gets better. Okay, so now let us bronze, because obviously right now we are looking very flat and we need to warm up this skin. I'm gonna go in with a very neutral shade of bronzer. Since I am so fair, I don't wanna go in with something that has like an orange or like a really warm undertone. It might look a little harsh, might look a little fake. And so to keep it looking natural, we're gonna go in with something that's not too cool or too warm, meet right in the middle. And I'm gonna go in with the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. This is the Morphe R2 brush right here. And I'm just going to, oh God, this bronzer never gets old. It smells so good and I can taste it. Oh my gosh, bronzer just makes the face come to life. Hit it up there right by the hairline. This bronzer didn't go on as smooth today as it normally does. That's kind of weird. So now instead of baking, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back in with that powder that I used to set my face earlier and that damp beauty sponge that I use as well. Pat this into the skin underneath of that bronzer just to lighten this area up again and blend it into that bronzer just so that we keep the bottom portion of the face nice and light and we don't have like a dark line of demarcation from the bronzer. And this will also just make everything look even more natural on your fair skin. I'm gonna go in with the same bronzer, but it is a lighter version. So this is the Milk Chocolate Soleil, and I'm going to take that on a little small fluffy brush, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that warmth on the sides of my nose. I'm not really contouring my nose necessarily, just warming it up a little bit so that it doesn't look just like weird and pale sitting in the center of my face. That's how I think about my nose, just this weird pale thing sitting in the center of my face. I need to set my brows right now. They're driving me crazy. So I'm gonna take a little bit of the MAC Pro Emphasize Shaping Powder on a brush like this, and I'm going to put that directly underneath my eye area. I'm actually gonna mix it with a little bit of the Kat Von D shade as well. And I'm just going to tap that right under here and bring it down, just because this is such a light shade that when I'm really fair like this, I can like wear on I can wear it on my under eye and it doesn't look ridiculously white, but it just makes you look so angelic and just like ethereal, and it just brings so much light and attention to the center of the face, and I love that look. Just like patting and then lightly dusting that out. Oh my gosh, I love this powder so much when I'm fair. I'm gonna put that on my Cupid's bow, center my nose, I'm sorry, center my chin and my face. I know it looks a little weird right now, but don't worry, it won't look weird in a minute. Right there, take it up on the forehead. I love a good light beam on the forehead. For blush, I'm gonna go in with pinky tones today because normally I do like really warm, like coppery, kind of like orangey undertones. But for this look, and since I am so fair, I wanna go in with like rosy pinky shades because it's just very complementary to these browns on the eyes and my skin tone right now. Okay, for highlight, I'm gonna take the shade Santorini by Kylie Cosmetics. This is her loose highlighting pigment. I love them so much. And Santorini is such a beautiful shade when I'm really fair on my skin tone. I'm gonna take a really big brush actually, because today I don't wanna do like a direct beam spotlight highlight. I wanna do something a little bit more like blended out and like ethereal, if you will. So I'm gonna take this brush right here. This is the Morphe M500. I'm just gonna dip it into the cap just like that. And then I'm just going to lightly on my cheeks go towards the top of my ear, just to keep it nice and subtle. I mean, that's subtle for me. Take a dab, put it on the nose. I have to have a nose highlight. Cupid's bow. I'm also gonna do a touch right here on the forehead. And then I'll take my damp beauty sponge, dab right over that so that it really just like melts it into the skin. Okay, I'm going to try the Kylie Cosmetics Velvet Liquid Lipstick in the shade Bear. Is that what it is? Yeah, Bear, and see how this looks. I'm also gonna take a little bit of the Kylie gloss in the shade So Cute. This is her palest gloss that she has. I'm gonna take just a little bit of it and put it in the center of my lip and just kind of blend it out for some high shine right in the center. And now I'm just going to set that bitch with some setting spray. It really is incredible the power that makeup has and the power that I personally have chosen to give makeup. Like now that my face is done, I look in the mirror and I'm just like I'm ready. Like I feel like I have more confidence. I feel like I have more energy. Like I can just do anything right now. I'm like, I'm ready to go. Whatever life has to throw at me, I can handle it. Like it's just weird how I just feel completely different in such a good way when I have on makeup. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll still be bossing people around bare face with acne everywhere, but there's something about a full face of makeup that just makes me feel like, So that is it for this look, you guys. I hope that you enjoy now that you saw how extremely easy it is. Honestly, if this is difficult for you, try it a couple of times and you'll be good to go. When I was first starting in makeup, doing that eyeshadow as eyeliner trick, that is how I taught myself how to do a straight line of eyeliner. So it's a really great trick. So if you're struggling with eyeliner, just do that for a couple of weeks or a couple of months and get used to that. And then you'll get so much more comfortable with liquids and gels. So yeah, that's it, you guys. I hope that you enjoy this look. If you do, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, if you recreate this look or any looks that I do here on my channel, please tag me on Instagram, send me your photos on Twitter so that I can see them, I can like them, and I can interact with you guys. So that's it. I love you, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.